Satnam. I'm Lillian Savoy, and I'm here with you today with a friend of mine that it's been a long time, and she is very much a celebrity in her world, which I'm so excited to share with you today. So I have Lori Crete on here today. She's a beauty entrepreneur. She has the Beauty Biz Club. She's an esthetician, and she's going to tell us about her new business that she started, SpaStar. And I'm so excited for to just pick her brain because as a woman, it's so inspiring to start something from the ground up and it be successful. And I'm not talking just money, just passion and money and time, and that supports your life. So we're going to hear all the juicy details from her today. So welcome.
Hi, Lillian. Thank you. Congratulations on the podcast.
Thanks. You inspired me to podcast
Awesome.
because I love being yours was the first podcast I was ever on.
I feel like I was doing podcasting before anyone knew what a podcast was.
You were.
I was so scared to do a podcast, like drenched in sweat. At the time, we had to record them on Skype, and look at what we're doing now.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's like Skype was so easy back then. Remember, you were like, okay, I'm going to send you a Skype. I'm like, okay, my husband's been doing Skype forever, but he talks to people internationally.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so odd. And here we are in Riverside, right? But there's so many more platforms. Like it's getting hard to choose. You're like, what do you use? And who's going to teach me how to use this?
Yeah. Uh, it is crazy to think about how fast this world took place. And probably part of it is maybe one of the blessings from COVID. This type of technology really had to go through a speedy advancement because it's how we connected with each other.
Yeah, I agree. And now we have the AI, which is really rocking my world. I call it my new boyfriend.
It's
But so
It is trippy. I mean, it is crazy what you can do. And I try not to rely on it too much. I feel like it's going to steal our creativity as humans.
it definitely, it's so interesting that you say that because Andre's been teaching me and how to use it correctly. And it's very interesting to not have that time with your brain, that quiet time with your brain to come up with the right words and then maybe phone a friend or maybe send an email or send it out in your test group, right? But then it always comes back and tells you how great and wonderful you are. So, did you know? I didn't know this, but it's a business decision from that company to be nice to you, which is very smart on their part, right?
I feel like they copied Alexa because she's always telling me to have a good day, or like if I say something, what time is it? It's weird. I think I'm talking to a human. I will actually say, thank you. And she'll say back, you're welcome.
So you were the first person to tell me to get Alexa as well. And you were the first person that really launched my retail side of my business. So tell us how, and we could talk about the money spray later. So, because that's always fun.
I was
But
going to say, which I'm still investing in your retail.
I just made a new batch. I found that I have a block. We all find our blocks and then we have to work through them, right? So my block is the post office.
Oh, well,
It
can't you
just
schedule a pickup?
You would think I could, but I don't.
Try it. You might like it.
I might like it. And then also my block is putting it into the package. So I love making the money spray. I'm doing personal attentions this time, which I always do for you, because we talk about it. But this time I opened it up to the public for personal intentions and then who packages it for me? I used to love that part. I don't like that part anymore. So like we change and grow, like even something stupid like that. I'm just like, I don't really like putting it in a package, driving to the post office. I used to love to talk to the post office guys. But then COVID, I think you're right. COVID changed some stuff.
Sometimes it's just stopping and having a little moment with yourself. Like I got caught up in online shopping, scrolling through Instagram, and I'm like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. And then it would get to my house and I'd have like 30 packages to unpack when I got home from work. And I go, oh, is this contributing to my life or overwhelming me? To the post office and delivering money spray that makes people so happy would contribute to your life. maybe.
Yeah. No, it
Which
does
I need a
contribute.
bash. I'm leaving for Vegas in a few weeks. And I'm manifesting the biggest thing ever in my whole life. We can talk about that in a little bit if you want
Okay,
to,
well,
but
since we're on it, okay, I'm sweating so much because I'm drinking hot coffee.
uh,
I'm just like all of a sudden I'm just like, woo, I made my coffee too hot, and I like to put cayenne in my coffee.
well, you shouldn't have given your secrets away because I can't tell through the screen. You just look like a J Lo glow.
Oh, J Lo glow. Okay, that's good. So seriously, okay, so let's talk about your money spray because you've made plenty of money in your life. Plenty of money. Okay, probably um a lot of people would envy how successful you have been. On a positive note, you have helped hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people, and you share your secrets. So so for fun, you like to take the money spray and do what with it? Just for
Well,
fun.
so we go to Vegas a lot, and honestly, I think highly stimulating city, Vegas, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of energy there. Uh, and I like to use it to clear my space. Honestly, I feel like, and it's funny because I've made lifelong friends because of that money spray. People will be like, I add a little tiny bit of essential oil to it so it
Mhm.
smells like spearmint
Oh,
and
you
a
like
little bit of
spearmint. Okay,
patchouli.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people will come up and go, what is that you're spraying? It smells so good. I spray my money before I put it into a slot machine. I spray it
Good
around my
idea.
head, over my friends. I set good intentions. It's really like a little bottle of positivity and abundance in my life. And I forgot it once and I didn't feel right without it there. I think I've just created a beautiful little ritual with the money spray.
Yeah, I've shared it with a couple of people that like to also go to Vegas, and they do send me pictures of winning money. They
Yeah.
do. And but they also, I think it's like you said, it's like there's smoke, there's energy,
Yeah.
and we do have to clear our space because if you walk in with someone else's luck that's not your own, and you have really good luck.
It's funny that my one of my dear friends, her mother and I had this talk that was deep and soulful and going way back. And she said that she's her daughter, which was my best friend growing up. She goes, she always calls you lucky. She goes, but I really don't see it that way, Lori. Like you are a hard worker to wealth luck, really, kind of, but I don't know. Am I lucky or do I just really set an intention and go for it and work hard? Like, get out of my way. If I want something, I'm not stopping. Luck is a weird word to me. And
You know
people who
what? It
gamble with
is.
me in Vegas, they're like, you're so lucky. I go, I treat this like a full time job. It's not just luck, right? It's devotion and consistency.
You are devoted and consistent for Vegas. I could not spend that. I could not do that just because all the dingy ding ding dings start to get to me after a while. I love a good slot machine. Okay, but I want to take away everything around it.
Yeah, you know what? And that's with the money spray. Sometimes I laugh because, listen, I'm in a world where you're allowed to smoke cigarettes, but there's inconsiderate smokers sitting next to me. So I have no problem spraying money spray at them, like to smoke out of my face. It's like if you can let your toxic smoke come my way, I can sprinkle you with something that clears the air a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. And Vegas is such an interesting place. But when I made that and I called you, you had the beauty biz and it was rolling. How many people did you have? Okay, was that 10 years ago? Probably
I don't
10
know.
years ago.
It was a long time ago, definitely.
Yeah. Easily
Maybe,
10, maybe 12 years ago, because
yeah.
you were in one of the heights of every business has an ebb and a flow. So you were really at the height of the Beauty Biz Club. So tell us a little bit about,
Actually,
because are you still accepting people in? And
that was not the height of the Beauty Biz Club. Here's a weird thing that happened.
okay.
So it was a time where I was definitely growing in my career as a mentor and a consultant in the beauty space. The weirdest thing happened. I remember the night the world locked down, COVID 2020. I laid in bed and I was so stressed out and I kept thinking, I have worked so hard for everything I have. And now I have 200 people in this program and not one of us can go to work. Literally all of our businesses were closed down and you don't operate as an esthetician at the time. Really, like it just,
Yeah.
you had to have your space to go in and work. But the world shut down and I decided all I can do is show up and be a source of strength and positivity for these women. And my business exploded during that time when nobody was able to work, when nobody had any income coming in. People were really looking for somebody who was going to be a little bit of a North Star and a guiding light and let them know that it was okay. My business doubled its numbers. And what I discovered about myself, same thing, with the failing economy in 2009 and 7, 8, 9, I guess it was. I owned a spa in Los Angeles then, and everyone kept telling me, you better find another job. Nobody's going to want a facial. And my numbers tripled then. I think when the going gets tough, for some reason, that's when I welcome the most abundance. Maybe you get
That's
real
so
clear
funny.
and
I think we had
focused.
that in common. I had the
Yeah.
best year of my mortgage career in 2008, like you just said. The
Ah.
best. Everybody else was crashing and burning, and I was like riding the tidal wave.
Think you did? Because I know what I did differently. Like, what do you think you did? Because not many people can say what you just said about the mortgage industry in 2008.
Okay, so there was a key thing, and I think this is probably a theme in most businesses. So I'm curious to see if it's a theme in like your business. But I remember everybody got into the mortgage business. Everybody gets in at certain times when this stuff is about to really, take off. Like there's new products, there's new programs, there's new stuff that
Expansion.
yes, there's expansion. There's new hope for money, right? Or career or status or something like that. And I remember going with Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo's like the elephant, right? The slow, steady, no one's making any big bucks. I mean, except unless you're at the top, right? And no one's making big bucks, but everybody's making a good living and everybody's working together. You're not gouging people with 4 and 5 points and hiding it in the back end, and you're not doing any of that. So when it crashed, all those people that I watched to make millions in front of my face, friends of mine that tried to get me to their company, and I was like, oh, it sure is tempting. They were bankrupt. They were bankrupt when it crashed in 2008. And I was like, oh, okay. I see. It's not about instant gratification. It's not about the money. It's literally about balance. So, what was your 2008?
Funny that what you just said, because I taught a whole little session on this yesterday about knowing a business cycle, which is interesting, right? The expansion is when everybody kind of goes, it's a lot of going wild in expansion.
Yeah.
And then you get to the top peak part of it, and people don't realize there's always going to be a recession, like expansion, boom, recession, recovery. That's it. That's a business cycle. And
Love
people
that.
spend
Yes.
wrong in expansion and boom, and then they freak out in recession and recovery. When recovery, if you do the other phases right, should be the most beautiful part of a business. New ideas, new creativity, new energy. But what I did at my spa in LA was I created a safe, positive space for people. When they came in, I told my team, I told my clients, you're not here to talk about doom and gloom. You're here to receive a good experience that leaves you not only looking, but feeling better. And that changed everything. People couldn't wait to come in to the spa just to be around that. And I'm doing it again right now. I keep reminding my clients, you're not here for a political convention. Like, you're here for facial. Let's not talk about these things.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's changing the conversation, being positive, having boundaries in place, but boundaries that make people feel better. Right. So I think that's what I did in 2008, learned that lesson, and it's kind of on repeat in a different way now.
Yeah. And it's funny. So, okay, let's look at your three phases. Okay. So, expansion, recession, recovery. Okay. So, my recession was,
Don't forget about the boom. Expansion leads to a boom.
yeah, boom. Okay. So, boom. So, boom could be negative or positive, right?
Well, boom is when, like, I think of the roaring 50s. You're just out having fun.
Okay, so that was a long time in my business. I was having fun because I love doing energy work and healings, and I love coaching, and I love people. I mean, it's great. But then so that was at the boom. It was great. And then I dislocated my shoulder in 2023. So the boom was probably COVID. My business was definitely at the height, and then dislocated my shoulder in 2023. So I've been in recession. And it's funny, just like you said, I don't shop as much. We sold our condo. We put money aside for college instead of just like spending stuff on ourselves. It's like, okay, we got to put stuff here, and we got to put stuff there, and like we're, you know, putting things away. Um, I got rid of my office.
Your house?
Yes.
Oh
Well, I
my
mean,
gosh.
I rented it out, but that was 12, that was 11 years, 11-year cycle. See, in yoga, it's an 11-year cycle, which would be interesting for you and I to compare if your business cycle goes in the 11-year cycle of the yogis.
What's interesting that you say this is I have photos on my phone. Every time I look at something, it's 11, 111
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah,
So
same.
something 11 is happening right now in my life.
Well, yeah, so 11. So go back. So how long have you had the beauty biz?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Tell you, probably, gosh, I don't know. I'd have to start to think about 2010 is when I started really coaching and I wrote that book on business building for estheticians. But I don't know. That's something I'd have to sit down and go
Yeah,
back in
timeline it.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you do the timeline, like for me, you can see where I started to think about like because COVID kind of changed everything, like you said. I mean, it was different here in our LA versus your LA, right? Our LA was fine. We were done with it in 2 weeks, but I mean, y'all were locked down. I feel like you were locked down for 2 years,
It was a year and a half
a
where
year and a half.
it's
Okay.
not just, it's crazy because I have a friend I was talking to from Bozeman, Montana. She goes, it was really like a month. And then everything was kind of normal. No. And it was not only you can't go to work, they would do these crazy things. Like they would say, okay, you can go to work next week. Whatever they called it, the chart is down. You can go to work. So we would get all our supplies, the gloves and the mask. I looked like a welder when I went to work as an esthetician. The stuff they made
Did you
us.
take any pictures?
Yes, I did. I gotta get it out. It is crazy. I will send you some when we get off this call. So, but then you'd get there and you'd work for a day, get all your clients back on the book, and they'd go, oh, sorry, there was a spike, closed down again. And it was a yo-yo. It felt like dating a toxic person for a while.
Definitely
Yeah.
abusive, like the cycle.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
weird. And another thing I think about that was really weird is, my sister is a nurse and my best friend's in corporate. I felt so weird. Like they just kind of still kept making money and maintaining life. It was a bit weird time. Like I felt nobody could relate except for Jay because he owned a gym and he couldn't really do anything either.
Yeah.
But odd time. And they say if you listen to experts in money and people who follow cycles, we're in for more like big highs and big lows. So it's going to be interesting.
Oh, I think so too. I definitely think so. But I mean, I think that's part of our spiritual connection as far as highs and lows because, we do need to ride the wave and be, having fun at the high and
Yeah.
then in the low, you need the tools so that you keep your shit together. you know? And it's like, even though the AI, what we were talking about, it's like, all right, I still need, this doesn't take away, I mean, it may take away for a lot of people, like the time with myself and creativity time, like you said, you feel like it might take away our creativity. So then we have to just be more intentional on who we are as a person, right?
That's
And
going away. I just had a live event and two things happen. I give everybody a card at the beginning and I'm like, it's a question.
okay.
Just answer it. And if you don't feel comfortable, let me pull another card for you. Like, and there's no pressure, or you don't have to answer it at all. But I know some people were looking up how, and it's personal questions. They were looking up how to answer it on AI. Another person did a prompt on help me figure out my limiting beliefs. And like, I don't know. I think we're
Wow.
not sitting with ourselves anymore. We're reliant on something. It's almost like when TikTok shut down, people lost their minds. I feel like if
Yeah.
AI went away, we're losing the ability to be self-sufficient.
Are you on TikTok?
Times it's people will inspire me to go on there. I post for like a week and I'm like, this feels like a waste of my time. I have so many other more productive things in my world that I need to be doing. So are you?
I did the same thing. I think I posted for like 2 weeks and I was like, am I just talking to myself out
Yeah.
here? What am I doing? Like I know that it's good for the message to get it out, right? But it is definitely I mean, I again, it's like if I'm talking to myself, I'm bored with myself. I'd rather talk to you.
And you know what? I have never been the type of person that likes attention. I like to sit back and watch the world happening and kind of be an observer. So to me, it doesn't feel authentic at all. I'm never going to dance online. I'm not going to do wild things just to get somebody to give me a like. It's not,
Yeah.
maybe I'm too serious. I don't know. But
Well,
it's
you are
not how I roll.
serious. I mean, you are serious. I mean, let's
Yes.
your personality type, and we're both Leos.
No, I'm a Virgo.
Oh,
Kind of,
shoot.
yeah.
But you're on the cusp. Are you on the cusp?
Yeah, the 26th.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
So,
I know we're in the same month though. Okay.
yeah.
So that makes sense. So you're super organized and Virgos are more serious.
Yeah, all business usually.
Their
So I like to
business,
remind
their
myself to have fun.
Okay, so your fun is let me see if it's still the same. Okay, I haven't seen you in 12 years or maybe 11. I can't remember, somewhere around there. Okay, so, a glass of champagne. You love champagne.
Yes, still love champagne.
And you love small bites.
Um, yes, I've changed my diet a lot recently, but
Yeah, why?
I just feel like the older I get, the more protein I need, and no matter how hard you try to maintain like a normal weight, what you once felt normal, it just gets harder and harder and harder. So I go, okay, the fun is over. Of I'll cook a frozen pizza on Sunday and eat the whole thing. I'm just going to stay really focused on protein and vegetables and some fruit if I want something sweet. I'm just doing that right now. It's a phase, but
And
I
do you
feel
still
better.
go to the gym every morning?
The gym, it's going to get really hot here soon, and then I'll go to the gym probably
Okay.
three, four
And so,
times.
as an esthetician, are you still telling people to drink like half of their body weight in water?
I think that might have been another esthetician. I really don't preach drinking water. I don't, I should, but maybe that was somebody else you were chatting with.
No,
But
that's just like the standard. That's the half the body weight in water is what we as humans need to aim for complete hydration, which we could maybe debunk that a little bit because the water that we drink now is definitely not our parents' water, right?
yeah, for
But
sure. I will tell people now my new thing is to mineralize it.
yeah.
Get some electrolytes in there because I live in the desert and that does seem, I have a lot of clients that have been coming in super dizzy, vertigo. I'll tell them take your shoes off and walk outside and mineralize your water. And they think I'm wacky. And then they'll call me and go, actually, that
You?
worked.
Oh yeah, it does work. So I got this volcano salt. You can order it, but it's black and it's like in this little tiny pouch. And I just put a couple of things under my tongue. And supposedly that gets all your mineral. And then I don't have to make my water salty. I
I've
mean,
been
stop.
using that. I don't know exactly what it's called, like shellac or something.
Uh-huh.
It's the resin that's minerals that I put in my coffee in the morning, so it's done for the day. But I also will throw a Noon in my water. I carry this around all the time, and it usually has sparkling water and Noon,
Yeah.
the
I
tablet.
use I do Body Health. Body Health has really yummy electrolytes. I just ordered them for the family because now they like them. So I have to like sneak things in and then they'll drink them and then I have to order them. But this electrolyte, electrolytes aren't cheap. The electrolyte thing I've ordered was 60 bucks.
Is it a tablet
No,
or
it's a scoop,
powder?
it's a powder.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so Beauty Biz, you don't know how long you still have people in it. Are you still like accepting new estheticians in? Because down in Louisiana, there's no Lori.
Uh,
There,
I
so
am. I think we still have over 200 members every year. We run about 200 people through the club a year.
okay.
Uh, And then I do other programs for people are a little bit commitment phobic now, and I really like that to be a year-long program. It takes a while to get your systems in place and truly see the benefit and the profitability of creating the type of business that I help you structure inside of the
Yes.
club. Yes, I'm still always, I'll share with you. I don't, maybe we've talked about this before, but I feel like as a woman in business, and maybe anybody in the world. I don't know where this falls. You can help me categorize it. But I feel like we should have three types of missions. And one is a passion project. And that really is my podcast. I don't make any money doing it. And my treatment room. I am passionate. I always want to be an esthetician. I love what I get to do. I get excited going there. It grounds me. So that's my passion. I think we should have a retirement, like something that we maybe build to sell or that generates enough revenue. That's why I created SpaStar. It was a gap in my industry, but I also thought I'm going to build this to sell it. And then thirdly, I think we should have legacy work where we make a difference in the lives of other people. And for me, that's my Beauty Biz Club. Like that's my legacy work. I know. And it took me a long time to just say this without feeling like I was being braggy or something, but I know I've made a difference in other women's lives. I get letters all the time. Thank you. I'm not on food stamps anymore. Thank you. I got to take my kids shopping. Thank you, my family.
Oh.
We were living in a bus and now we own a home because of your program. So legacy work, it's just something that makes you feel really proud and you know you're making a big difference in somebody else's life. And I'd like to think I've made a difference in my industry because when I entered it, you were viewed as having a hobby and not like a successful career driven woman.
Yeah, and right now, like the buzz, I'm in these mom groups down here. I don't know if y'all have them, but we have on Facebook. We have like a few of the moms group because our town is still kind of small, but it's obviously gotten much bigger, like everybody else. But all these girls are coming in, and I want to tag you so bad. You can't tag if you're not in the group. So, but it's like, do I go to cosmetology school? Do I do this? Do I do hair? Do I do esthetician? And the most of the comments are, it's really hard and school is now 20 grand. There's
It's
no like
expensive. And
positive.
I started a new business. I'm an angel investor. I haven't told you this, but I have been mentoring a younger esthetician since she was in high school. And she's first year on her own did $140,000 in sales and
Wow,
revenue in the
that's
first.
amazing.
And now she's doing what I'm doing in the industry for new estheticians. So if you know new estheticians, it's emerging esthetician. It's a free community and
Okay.
a paid membership if you choose to get a little more support. But it's geared towards the newer estheticians. And there is a need for it, what you're saying. There is a need because it's expensive to go to school. Some,
Yes.
like California, some colleges, community colleges operate, but it's like a 3 year wait to get into that type of program.
Oh, why? Because it's not 20 grand?
Yeah, I think because it's a community college and
Mm.
there's a wait list to get in. But yes, it's expensive. And there are ways right out of school to make money doing it. There are. You just need to maybe, there's this weird thing in my industry where people think they have to go buy a $30,000 piece of equipment to be
Yeah.
successful, but they don't learn how to run a business when that's really the missing link to it
Well,
all.
also, I mean, now you and all the women that you have introduced me to over the years, I mean, you really changed my business for about 5 years, and it was like a cycle of estheticians for like 5 years. It was so fun. It was so great. But it was also a lesson for me too, like, hey, Lil, not getting any younger, better start your night cream. you know because I mean, when I met y'all, I was the only one that had wrinkles.
Oh my gosh.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest, I literally was the only one with forehead wrinkles because Botox kind of scares me. And that Ben, who introduced us, that's who told me about Botox, and he kind of scared me. I know that wasn't his intention, but I haven't done Botox since. So I've had to really learn to love my forehead wrinkles, which I still don't love, but at least we're friends now, right? Before it was like criticizing myself in the mirror. And
All it is
then,
repetitive muscle movement. That's it. If you could look
right.
at it like that instead of wrinkles, it's repetitive muscle movement.
Yeah. And I think we've even talked about it, like the smile lines on the side, that you try and Botox them out. I'm like, well, I'm a happy person, so I have big smile lines.
Yeah.
But no, when you introduced me to all these amazing people, I was like, wow, this is such a person that has like a gift of creating and attracting wonderful people into her life, not only in your spa, but like in the community. And so when I see these young people coming in, they're just thinking about making a living as far as money and how much school is. They haven't seen the other side like I've seen, and that you are actually doing. You're coaching and teaching and framing and changing the business. And it's like, we need that. We need you to come down south and like, really inspire more people. I know you're global anyway, and anybody can find you at Beauty Biz, but the newbies, not necessarily seasoned ones, but the newbies definitely need help.
And we're on a mission to do that with emerging esthetician platform. She's going out, Lauren, and she's speaking at schools, and she's on TikTok. That's where a
She
lot
likes
of
TikTok.
she doesn't.
Good for
She's
her.
old soul. She doesn't even like social media. It's overwhelming to her, but she also is building a business and knows that's where we're getting the flow of new,
Yeah, I
newish,
know.
newer estheticians into our program. So
Okay, so you got a legacy. I love that. I feel like my business is also kind of a legacy. Okay,
yes.
and then you have SpaStar, which we're going to talk about. You feel like that is the gap that you needed for retirement, which at our age, my age, and a lot of my friends, like we are really looking at this right now. So, like, help us. What can we do? Because I have so many good ideas. Like, how did you come up with the idea, start the business? And of course, it's part of your personality. Like you said, you're like, get out of my way. I'm doing this. But, like, how did you really coach yourself up and take it to the next level? Walk us through that because that's so exciting.
Okay, this is a great question. And I knew there was a piece of me that was missing. I wanted something tangible. I was all service driven, right? My
Yeah.
spa, my esthetician stuff. I didn't own the building. My Beauty Biz Club is me in
Yeah.
there running the
Right.
show, creating the trainings. It's my creativity and experience and wisdom. But I want something tangible, and I didn't want to create a product line, never wanted anything to do with that. I couldn't figure out what it was. And then back to the time I had with myself, right? During COVID, and it was the first time I got to travel. It was actually about a year ago. I mean, about this time of year, 2021. And I got to go to a wedding in Hawaii, and it was like freedom. We hadn't been out of the house in like a year, really, at all. So I went and walked a labyrinth into Maui every morning. And as I was walking, and during COVID, I'd go outside every morning at 4:30 with my little roadie, and I would say, please, please gift me something that makes me feel normal and human and creative. Cause this is like so stifling to be stuck in my house all day, every day. And it
Yeah.
hit me. I go, oh my gosh, a luxury spa wrap, because I had a high-end celebrity clientele in LA, and I always felt weird when I gave them the facial wrap I felt like this is embarrassing. These are crappy. They had Velcro that usually had somebody else's hair stuck in it, no matter how much you washed them, or it didn't fit right. It was falling off
They're
them, or it
itchy.
would, yeah,
I'd rather be
itchy,
naked.
not eco-friendly at all. And I'm from Vermont. I care about those things. It would take like 2 hours to dry the terry cloth ones in my load of spa laundry. So I go, that's it. I'm going to reinvent a spa wrap. And I had a very well known and well respected clothing designer who was a facial client of mine in LA. And I thought, I don't mind reaching out to other women for help. Have always found that just works best when I get creative. Like, who can help me get to where I want to go? So I called her and talked to her in like 10 years. And I said, I want to redo a spa wrap. I know you're too busy to just point me in the right direction. That's all I need. I don't even know where to start in the garment industry. No idea. But
Yeah.
I had to make it. And she said, tell me more. I said, okay, it needs to be size inclusive. It needs to fit, one piece needs to fit from a size 0 to a size 18. I said, and I don't want cheap fabric. It needs to wash, it needs to dry, it needs to be lightweight, it needs to be buttery soft. And like, think activewear, like the big brands like Lululemon and Athleta. It needs to be that material. And she said, well, I happen to be home healing from breast cancer, and I want to do this with you. So she literally was in downtown LA at the garment, like fabric, a chemo port, digging through fabric. Like,
Oh my
just,
gosh.
we both got lit up from this project. As a matter of fact, we didn't partner. I paid her hourly to help me. And she sent me the most beautiful card. She goes, I think this project really helped me heal. So,
Oh,
but we couldn't get the fabric made in the US, period. So I didn't go to China. Like, I wanted to do things that felt to me right. So I did go overseas, one of the best fabric manufacturers in the world. Like, you cannot get this fabric in the US.
wow.
And did
Yeah.
international trade during a time when my 60,000 yards of fabric was stuck in a cargo ship out in Long Beach when they were literally like flipping over. It was so bizarre. I didn't pick an easy time to do it. But then she helped me find a family owned factory. So they are made in the USA, which I'm proud of. I don't think people care as much as they say they do, but they really are manufactured here in the US. My fabric goes directly to the manufacturer, which he ended up being just an incredible human. The support that I got was unbelievable. And then I was at my first luxury resort, second favorite resort in the whole world. And I had a margarita at dinner and I walked into the spa and I'm like, is your spa director in? I didn't even have the product yet. The fabric was still being made. And she came out and said, hi, how can I help you? And I said, well, I'm going to have a product soon. And I told her a little bit about it. And she said, well, call me when it's done. And that was actually my first client. So I
That was your
called her,
first
she
sales
brought it
call.
in. And now I'm like the top 3 retailer at this massive luxury resort. I was just there last week. I get to go do fun sales calls there. But it's opened up a world of amazing things because I get to travel to these places and, do sales calls, but then go hang out at the spa for a little bit after. I set it up and I was just talking to other people. I had another esthetician who has a product line. She helped me find a fulfillment center in Chicago. Like, I want to touch it as little as possible so that way it's sellable. And
Right, because it doesn't have to rely on you.
yes,
Whereas
yeah,
all these businesses that they're, for coaches and consultants and healers and teachers and all, it's like the business doesn't run without us.
yep.
Right. And so
So
this business will run without you and be sold as your retirement.
yeah, and you know what though? I'm going through a
You're
weird
never
thing
going to
right now.
retire.
I don't want to retire. I don't want
Yeah.
to retire, but I will tell you that it's just everything happening in the world is making it a little challenging, like to get the fabric from. It's hard dealing with people overseas, and I'll just be super honest and tell you how this plays out. Okay, you order your first batch of something overseas, so we had the fabric made, and they give it to you for a certain price, and then the next time you go to, they see you're getting maybe successful. And all of a sudden, you have to order quadruple that amount if you want the same price. If not, it's like $10 more yard. It's just silly.
Wait, how are they watching you?
They know by your orders, right? They know by the quality or how frequent.
Oh,
Listen, they're onto it. And the more successful you become, and they know you need them. I can't get this made here. It does not exist a factory that makes this in the US, which
okay.
has been a blessing too. I think it's why I haven't been knocked off because there's nothing like it. So,
Yeah, knock on wood. But
yeah.
so they know from your orders, so they change it because it's natural supply and demand, right? I mean, they see, I never thought about that though. That's so interesting because it's so true though. It's
Yeah.
so true.
Economics, supply and well, it's not just supply and demand. They have the product. They just know they can get more for it because I have to get it from them.
And you have a product that someone else is seeking out now and waiting to refill the orders. Okay, so then tell us this, like if you go to these luxury spas and sell your wraps, is the goal to use it during their spa and esthetician service and their pedicures and their manicures and all that? And then, or is the goal of the spa to sell your wrap to that person? Or is it number 3, just sit on the shelves and then sell your wraps?
So this is not when you start a business and you create something from scratch. It's never what you think it's going to be, honestly.
Right, of
I thought
course.
everyone's just going to use it in back bar, like in their treatments, because the fit, elevating a client experience is something
Yes.
most luxury resorts you would think would have in their protocols or whatever you want to call it. Like, uh, here's they all have. I can't because of corporate issues. You think eco-friendly, like these Hawaiian islands, I thought they would soak it up because their laundry is so expensive. But it's been the opposite. The big resorts retail it. And, it's part of being a salesperson. I go in and I give them merchandising tools. If it's on a mannequin, it sells all day long. The people who throw it on a shelf
Never
don't sell
sells.
as much. Like it is what it is. It's the way
Yeah.
it works. I can tell you from my top retailers. But the small businesses have really been my biggest source of support and abundance because they're using it in their treatment rooms. It's working for a small business. Your standard wrap is like 4 inches thick when you fold it. This is a half an inch thick. It dries in 6 minutes. It's just making their businesses more efficient. And once their customers wear it during a facial, they ask to buy it. So it's kind of the small businesses, and they don't have to go through any corporate. It's not a net 30. They're going to pay you 30 days, maybe. Sometimes they run 60 days for
Or
thousands of
whenever they
dollars
feel like
quarters.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
And then
different.
you're
Small
floating the
businesses,
corporation.
yeah, are so much easier to work with. And the larger spas will often call you and try to negotiate. Can we get a better price? Can you help us with shipping? And the small businesses just are thankful you're offering them wholesale on something you're not selling on Amazon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so then also this is good. This is really good because it's like we are in the niche. Like if someone wants to really think out of the box and bring something to life, like you're a great person to help them do that. You are, though I do need a disclaimer that you are literally a worker bee. You do
Sorry. Yeah.
you you are literally one of the hardest working people. You just but you don't have kids
I
because
don't have children.
you have 200 children in your group. They're not children. You know what I mean, though. I have lots of clients with no kids. So I'm like, but your employees are your
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
right?
That I say that to my girls all the time. Is this what it feels like to be a mom? Because
Yeah.
you tell them, I think this is really, really going to help you. And they get a little bit annoyed with you and they
Yes.
do the opposite. Not everybody, but you do see that happen. I go, this is probably what it feels like to be a mom.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. So happy Mother's Day to all your businesses. And yeah, but that's exactly what it is. And then, or if you give them advice, they take it a year later, right? And it's a little seed that you plant. So I want
Yeah.
to plant some seeds because I really think that, like, well, number one, I want to do something. I thought it was going to be my sprays forever, and it might, but something bigger, something that impacts the world, like you saying, like a mission, something that helps either elevate your experience, bring more joy in. And I'm all about bringing more joy in. You're more about like elevating and, really offering, because you've been in that niche, offering like this great experience. Let me just rub your stress away, make your face look great. You can go out into the world with confidence, right? I mean, that is you, like it's in an envelope.
You know what, though? I did hear something, and this is for you and anyone else who wants to create something. That a long time ago, I was dating a guy, and I actually liked his mother as much, if not more than him. She was such
It
an awesome
happens.
human being. So many years ago. And she said, if you can figure out how to make something inconvenient a convenience for the masses, you'll be wealthy. And I just knew like my wrap wasn't fitting and it was inconvenient. Like all the pieces of it for a spa, it was just a missing piece. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
think about
excellent.
something to make people's lives more convenient or joy now. People are craving things that make them feel better, joyful, positive.
Well, that's what, going back to the group with telling people, cosmetology school or esthetician school is 20 grand and it's really hard and you're all by yourself in a treatment room. That's not going to encourage anyone to change the world, right? So we need
Listen, part of
voices.
the reason I maybe get viewed as such a hard worker is because it doesn't feel like work. I love everything I get to do. I love it. It brings joy to my life. So also find something that makes you happy to do. And the
Yeah.
hard work is so worth it and it feels fun and you feel like you're contributing. I don't know. There's something to be said for doing what you love more than, oh,
Yes. And what about how do you handle drama? We all have our own ways of handling drama. Okay. So with 200 people or family drama or friend drama. And for your world, for a long time, it was political drama, right? And that affected your work. So how do you handle drama? Do you meet it head on? Do you kind of stick your head back like a turtle? Do you wait it out? Are you silent?
there's this is something I'm learning right now because there's some crazy things that have happened this year that were very, very hurtful in my business. And I handled it the best that I could, respectful to myself, other people, staying out of drama. It's so funny. I watched The Bachelorette and The Bachelor I have for years. It's like my guilty pleasure.
I love
There
it.
was a whole drama on that show where the host got fired.
Oh. Oh,
And
wait, I
I
kind of
listened.
remember that.
Yeah, he said something on his podcast. He said, he said, the best advice I got during that time in my life that was so filled with drama and hurtful moments was when everyone else is talking, you stay silent.
Mhm.
And that's really, and also, I'm writing a book about this right now.
What?
So
The drama?
just as
Overcoming drama.
women and sisterhood and wounds and navigating drama.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. And because when we write about what we go through in our life, and how we help other people, it will help other people. Well, your
It's
first book
funny.
was about manifesting, though, in the beauty, or the 6 step, how to make 6 figures in the beauty
It was,
biz. What was the
yeah.
title?
I've got to have it in my casita in my office closet. It was like the 6-figure esthetician or something. And that was
Yes,
unheard of at that time.
right.
And it was
You're such
funny.
a pioneer.
Well, it was interesting. I thought, oh my God, everyone's going to be so excited to make 6 figures. This is going to be so fun to write. And then the book came out, and people were like, I got a lot of flack for it.
Did
Too
you?
many. Oh yeah, like Lori's just in this for the money. I'm like, really? I'm teaching you how to
How to
create a
make
beautiful
six
career.
figures.
That's how I was looking at it.
Right.
It got accepted after a while, but when you come out with something, even my spa rack, when I first did it, people are like, this is expensive. That's what I heard at first. I'm like, my clients, they go, oh, I want to buy one of these. And when I would tell them how much it was, they go, this is expensive. And then they'd come in and they'd wear it 3 or 4 times. And they go, I'm going to get one. It's my birthday. And then they'd come back the next time and go, my daughter stole it
That's
from me
fun.
and took it to college. So now I need another. So it was like, I guess that's maybe, yeah, is doing something and getting that shocking negative reaction when you think you're doing something so great and helpful to other people, and riding that wave goes
But
back
does
to
it make
avoiding
you like
drama.
when people told you that like it was expensive? Okay. Did it make you stop creating? Were you like, oh, maybe I need to reevaluate my price?
No. As a matter of fact, my manufacturer, who has been just such a mentor for me, he's been in the clothing industry. He has multiple factories in the
It's
US
amazing.
and in Mexico. I have to tell you, he drove a huge livery of my wraps to my house on a Saturday, the owner of the factory, because he knew I needed them for a big hotel. So I just have been surrounded by such amazing, supportive people. But he called me on a Friday afternoon, and he said, and he does big clothing lines. If I told you some of the stuff that he does and how
My
I got
jaw
to
would
work with
drop.
him, I don't know. It was a manifestation. But he called me on a Friday afternoon at 4, and he said, you have to raise your prices on your wraps. It's just a few weeks ago. He said, my thread has gone up 60 cents a
Okay.
yard. My needles are $1 more. I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not raising my prices. I set them in the beginning to feel good, because for me, it was important to have the perfect fabric and to have them made in the US.
Well, how
And I
many
set my
years are you
prices.
into it?
Uh, I think this is probably 3.5 now, 3.5
Okay,
from
so
the
you
time
haven't
I
had a
finished.
price. You haven't had a price raise since?
No, no,
Okay,
and I
so
won't. I
and
won't.
you won't.
Some of the resorts charge more for them than I
Yeah.
do online, but every resort does that with everything. But no, I haven't had a price increase. I don't want to. Even the Beauty Biz Club has so much value, and we add new stuff all the time. Right now, it just doesn't feel like the right time to raise a price.
Hmm.
But when he called me and said that, I hung up the phone, and Jay, my significant other, he was listening, and he said, that wasn't about you raising your prices, Lori. I think he was having a bad day and he really trusts you and just wanted to talk to somebody. So that's another way to avoid drama. Just build these trusting relationships with people.
Also, we have to remember that, um, I read this in the upper limit. Well, that's not what it's called, but that's what he calls it. Gay Hendricks. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
The big
Okay.
leap.
Yes, thank you. The big leap. I always call it the upper limit, but I'm just like, whatever, because I'm always like, I'm reaching my upper limits. And so then you have to look at them, analyze them, sit with them, ask for clarity, go meditate on it. It's like, and then go into your new self. And they said, when we start something new, he and his wife, when we start something new, we are automatically hit with resistance to test our dedication. Like, are we really committed to this? Okay, so you say you want to be a coach these days. That's great, right? Everybody wants to be a coach right now. We're riding the wave of people think being a coach is easy. But then you get hit with resistance. And you're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can help that person. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can charge this. Oh my gosh, I'm not making enough money." And you get hit with the resistance, so it makes you analyze, okay, do I want to be on my own? Do I want to step out And I'm sure you've had a lot of that with SpaStar, right? The resistance that's come in, that's tested you, that says like, are you sure you want to do this, Lori?
I feel like it's a divine destiny thing with SpaStar because every time I got hit with resistance, I was in it too far to turn back. Once you've ordered and paid for 60,000 yards of fabric, you can't say, okay, I got some
Just
resistance. I'm
kidding.
not doing it anymore. So I don't know. There's also like these things that are supposed to happen that push you forward. And that was SpaStar. I couldn't. The times I wanted to turn back, I was in it
Yeah. I
way too
love
far.
that though. Like I love that because when you get real clear, like I had this pain in my shoulder, okay? It was like the back angel wing part. And that was like it was just throbbing and throbbing and throbbing and I would it would take a solid year. I went to every massage. I would go once a week. I'm like, I'm seriously like on this weird self-care journey of this thing in my back. What is it?
Didn't want surgery.
Couldn't do surgery. Couldn't do any surgery. He was like, you're out, MRI, everything's fine. And then I did everything alternative. I was like, I'm spending like $600 a month in massages, okay? And the pain would come right back. And I asked for clarity every day for a year. And you know what it told me to do? Go back to school and stop working as much as I was working, which I'd already been dwindling down my business on purpose because of the shoulder surgery. Okay, this was after the shoulder surgery. So it told me to go back to school, the message. And so guess what I did? I signed up for school.
Are you in
And
school right now?
yeah, I literally just signed up 2 weeks ago. Guess what? Guess what I'm going to be in a few years?
I have no idea. I can't wait to
Dr.
learn.
Lil.
What kind of school? Like, a doctor of what? This is exciting.
I know.
Really
Well, it's up
exciting.
my alley. Doctor of Natural Medicine,
Oh,
which is
that's
my
so
jam.
awesome.
I love my
Yeah.
jam.
Are you doing it online? Or are you actually packing up
It's
the books and heading
100%
into a class?
online. Yeah, it's 100% online. So, and it's in your favorite place, Hawaii, the school.
Goodness.
But they offer an online. So, and you get a bachelor's in holistic health, master in holistic health, and then a doctorate of natural medicine and PhD.
Wow. That is so exciting. Congratulations. And will you be able to like open your own practice?
Yeah, I mean, I can do anything like open a wellness center, anything that um I've been wanting to do because a lot of these wellness centers and stuff they need a doctor to run them. I
I
get to
think
do
from just
all
having
that.
this vision of yours being so different, though, like
Yeah.
everything you wanted to go teach at the spas when we talked about that, and your sprays, and like you could have the most magical wellness place ever.
Yes, I'm very excited. And the weird
We
part
gotta
is,
get your house with the oak tree back, though. I'm sorry. Like
I know.
that's the only place I see it.
Well, I'm hoping to be on some kind of island somewhere.
Okay.
Not in Mandeville. I'm hoping to be on blue water on an island that people can come and they can have beautiful spa wraps and champagne and we can heal from head to toe,
That
you
sounds
know.
amazing.
And it's weird because, and I'm getting to a point, even though it's kind of fun to tell you that, but the pain went away immediately, never to return. I don't think I've
Wow.
had a massage in 2 months. Yeah. And so that was odd. But I think, when you're talking about your business and I'm talking about my life, which is odd to think I'm going back to school at age 48, right? And studying and midterms and finals and all that shit. I'm just like, some days I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Right? Why did I put myself back in school? And then other days I'm like, because you have this vision and you're
Yeah.
following it and you got to get there, you
I
know?
think you have to, and to make a decision like you did to go back to school, I don't think you're going to let resistance turn you back at all because you just get to that point where you go, I'm in it. I made this decision. I'm committed to myself, my friends, my family. I got to power through.
Yeah, well, part of the reason why you're the third person I've ever told is because it holds you accountable. Like, did
Yeah.
you find that when you did your spa wraps, like, did you keep it to yourself or did you tell a few people so you had to stay accountable?
I didn't tell very many people because I knew at first people would go, a spa wrap, who cares? Now, I mean, I almost wanted to prove myself. We're in 600 locations. That happened fast. We got a ton of press over
Wow.
it. We actually,
It's
my
so
first year,
amazing.
Oprah's favorite things, we sent one. It didn't make the magazine, but they requested one of them. So yeah, I
Oh,
wanted to
it'll make it
prove.
into Oprah. Oh my gosh, you have to reach out to Gay because he and his wife got on Oprah. He said, I just had a little session with him the other day, but he said his book, Conscious Loving, is what made him famous. And he was on Oprah.
It's changed. I mean, she used to have the show, and I was inspired by Sarah Blakely when she did the whole Spanx thing and how she made that
Oh.
happen. But yeah, they requested it. I sent one to Hearst magazine in New York City, and I was like, fingers crossed. But that was a few years ago. Maybe it'll still pop up like during bridal season or something. But I think being on Oprah, I have a friend who had a natural deodorant that got mentioned in Oprah's favorite things, and it spiked her business for about a month, and then kind of went back to normal. That's changed as well.
That's changed. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's not
I
like the
didn't tell a bunch
ultimate.
of people because I thought it was almost like becoming an esthetician. They wouldn't take me seriously if I said it's just a spa wrap.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So what about and tell me how you're doing on time because this is so exciting. But I know I have to let you go because you have things to do. But what about when people are like, "Oh, I don't have enough money to start a business. Oh, I don't have this to order 60, yards of." What do you tell people like cuz you're going to go into I know you're as far as like you are going to share the message with others and you are going to help other people start major businesses. That's just what you do. So what do you tell people when they're like, I don't know if I have enough money and I'm going to have to dip into savings or I'm going to have to do this to fund this. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my God, we could do a whole hour-long show on this,
Okay, well, I'll
honestly.
have you back. Let's do it
My
again. Let's
mission right
do a
now is
second
to
one.
help women build wealth because, and this has gotten me on different stages outside of the beauty industry and different podcasts, but my mother's husband passed away at the end of 2023. And they were the couple you'd sit down and talk to. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Well, the truth is, a lot of stuff was uncovered, and he left a majority of his money to his children. And my mother didn't have enough rest of her life to eat or to pay rent. So for 1 year, I did a lot to help her. Let's just say that
Yeah.
this could be a whole other show. But my mission
Yeah.
now is to help women build wealth. So they're never in a situation where they say, I don't have enough money to. I would say change your mindset. We live in an abundant world. If you need $500, you probably can go find it somewhere. Honestly,
Yeah.
you can. You
You
can if
can.
you want to hustle a little bit. Uh, the second thing is, I think the three teach us people I mentor all the time, the three biggest things that'll hold you back in the world are saying, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, and I don't know how. Lose those from your vocabulary.
Good. Those are good tips. I like
Yeah.
that. So true though.
Yeah.
It's very true because I mean, we really do live in an infinite universe.
And it
And
goes back to the business cycle that I talked about when we first got on the call. It is, and this is something I'm learning about building wealth and learning to teach others, is that know what cycle you're in. Like, are you in an expansion? Are you in the boom? Are you in a recession? Or are you in recovery? And like you said, adjust, adapt, and never overspend, no matter what you are in. Like in expansion, and boom, that should be when you're really saving money. In recession is when you should be investing your money you buy during the dips, right? It's even my spa equipment. I got it during failing economies because everyone had stuff on sale.
good. Yeah.
Just last night, I said to Jay, oh my God, this is the first time I have seen a hotel giving a discount preparing for summer months. Like we're in a cycle now where travel has outpriced itself and is coming down a little bit. It's probably going to be an amazing summer to travel compared to the last few summers as far as saving money.
I
So
hope
just pay
so.
attention to the cycles and know when to invest, when to save. And if you have to start somewhere, start where you're at. Don't go into gazillion dollars of debt. Start where you're at. You don't have to do everything on a grandiose level. It was a time in my life where I had the resources to start that company
Yeah.
without it making me feel like so stressed out that I worried more than I got creative.
Okay. That's really good. And so don't over push it. Don't go into debt over it. Maybe. And then also, I mean, you are an angel investor for other people, but do you think that that's something good for other people to think of as like angel investors for them or just kind of keep it simple and start small?
I saw something in this human that I am investing in this business with that I saw that was like nostalgic of myself. I see how she works. I see the drive. I see how she helps others. Um, it was also an investment where we sat down and we had very clear, you need to do this and I will
Or
do
that.
this. And then we're going to
Okay.
revisit this in 3 months. And I didn't invest $6 million in this. Like,
Right.
I invested an amount that I was willing to lose if for
Yes.
some crazy reason it didn't work out. And I had a plan B. If this doesn't work out, I know exactly what I'm going to do to regain the monetary value that I invested. So
Oh,
have that
that's
plan too.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay, well, I don't want to keep you. I could talk to you all day long about business. And I mean, this is my jam. I love it. I
You're
love,
really good at interviewing. I'm so happy you're doing a podcast.
thank you. I love it. And like you said, maybe I don't do it for the money, obviously, and you're still not getting paid. I know a lot of people do it for the money, but it's just so fun to hear what people do in their life. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I do. And I love my show is mostly people in the beauty space, but I love learning how they started a business or what something they're doing as a work. I just interviewed this girl who started spray tanning in her house, and now she's on track to make $50 million
What?
with a spray tanning company in a very
Wow.
short amount of time. As a mom of a little one, like I like picking the brains of people who are willing to share that type of scoop with me.
That is some mega scoop. Okay,
Yeah.
so and I kind of feel guilty that we didn't talk about face stuff, like, all this beauty tips and secrets and what you're using and all that. So, where can people so will you come back?
Yes. I will come back.
Cuz
I
like
will continue the conversation.
so I had a top esthetician and we didn't talk about skincare. Okay.
Okay, well, summer's around the corner. I'll give you some tips. Mineralize your water because that will help keep your skin looking and feeling plump through the summer. I like
Check.
the noon tablets. I just get them at Sprouts. I get the
Yeah.
caffeine free ones. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
What
in the
number?
summer, even when it's cloudy. I don't look so much at the number. I wear an SPF in my, it's like a tinted
Foundation.
SPF as makeup. That's what I'm on right now.
Okay.
Every single day, no matter what. I think it's a 30. And gosh, right now, I'm really into lipid-based vitamin A's at night. I'm watching them repair my client's skin. And that's the first time I
Lipid-based
can say
vitamin A.
that in 23 years of recommending products, lipid-based vitamin A's at night are the biggest game changer I've ever seen.
So exciting. And what about a secret tip for us that haven't done Botox because it always screws up something. I always have a droopy eye or something. So I just stopped.
Okay, so there's two things that I would recommend. And one, I think I've told you about this before, the silk skin, they're the silicone, you can sleep in them and they stop the repetitive muscle movement and I use it
Yes.
on my décolleté. They seriously work.
I
They make
did
them for
buy
the forehead
those
now.
and used them up. I guess I need another set.
And then there's serums now. There's peptide serums that have the same type of reaction. I mean, it's not an injection, same thing, but it can help soften the lines and the repetitive muscle movement. They're peptides. Argireline is one of them.
Mm.
I can give you specific product names. They're not cheap. I will say that.
Oh,
I
no.
just started carrying them in my spa, and their a trial size is like $26. So I have people start there. I go, see if you like it. And one of my clients called me like a week later and she goes, I want 2 bottles of that stuff. I said, I'm not going to spend your money, but it's $180 a bottle and that's more than anything I usually retail. So I want to give you a heads up. She goes, I'll take two. They do
Okay.
work. They do work.
Okay. So what you're going to tell us, maybe email me and I can plug it in for us of like what it is
Yes.
and how we can buy it from
Well,
you.
you know what? The thing is, I'm not going to tell you on here because somebody could do a consultation with me, but you can't buy this product line online.
You
So
can't buy it from you?
no, they can buy it from me, but if I
Yeah.
tell you, they don't
They'll go
allow it to be
anyway.
sold on Amazon. It's
Mm,
super.
good.
So yeah.
Okay, well, you'll have
Anyway,
to
they can
just reach
email
out.
me. They
Okay,
can
well,
DM
so
me, Lori, LORI_beauty biz, and I can do a little consultation and help you that way. So
okay, so tell us where you want to be found. Tell us the like 3 places you want us to be, find you, buy stuff from you, support you.
okay, so Lori_beauty biz is my Instagram, and then SpaStar_LUX. I guess my website you could look at. We actually trademarked the name, the Get Ready wrap. People are wearing the wraps to get ready every single morning. Who wants a hot robe and or a wet towel or a ratty t-shirt. You should feel beautiful the second you start getting ready. It changes your whole day.
Love that.
So SpaStar.net are my wraps and a few other beauty accessory things that we have on the site that make my I used to be a flight attendant, so functionality, everything is that I love about beauty is on that site. And that's probably the best place, loricrete.com, if you're a beauty esthetician, mainly is who I help, or the beautybizclub.com. Those two sites are for estheticians that are looking for support and mentorship.
Okay,
And
and last question, to tie back in, so you channeled this message. You did. And that is why I love spirituality, because you channel messages from the divine and it has brought you to a new place in your life. How long do you think it took you to channel this message and truly receive it?
of creating SpaStar, is that the
Yeah.
message you're thinking? I asked for probably a year every single morning, give me something to make me feel creative. Looked at the stars. And that's how I came up with the name SpaStar, because I asked every morning looking up at the stars, please, 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 please gift me whatever I need to feel creative. And then spa, owning a spa, being in a spa my whole life. So SpaStar. And I think it was probably a year until, and then I always look at a URL. If that's available, I know, then that's what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like the cherry on top of my business ideas.
Okay. Well, I'm so happy that you came on. Thank you. I feel so honored and grateful. And now
Thank you for
everybody
having
knows
me.
where to find you. And we'll have you back when you feel like coming back.
You let me know. You're going to be the busy one now. My businesses are kind of in flow mode. You're like diving into a whole new life.
Yes, I
A
am.
busy
I know
one.
I'm excited. I'm excited to dive into the new life. I don't know what business part that cycle is, but it's it doesn't
Don't
feel
worry
like
about that right now. Get through school.
yeah, I got to get through school.
Study.
Okay. Love you
Thank you.
and
Love
have a
you.
great day. Satnam, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye.